Hello, and welcome back to the Members Only YouTube channel. I'm Gustavo, and I'm doing yet another album review of the new Little Simz album, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. I mean, you can read, right? Like, Little Simz, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. This is the fourth album from Little Simz, aka Symbiatu Abisola Abiola. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. But this is her fourth album. Her third album, Gray Area, I really enjoyed. And it came out 2 years ago. You should definitely listen to it. It's a great album. And this album definitely steeps into more R&B and like soul and kind of funk and even some Afrobeat influences. Uh, the production on Gray Area was pretty like standard for UK hip hop at the time, you know, whereas this album is super grand and lush and any other like words that have been used to describe this album because everyone's been talking about this album since it came out and everyone's just hyping up this album. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, this album's perfect. This is a fucking 10 out of 10 album. Nothing wrong with this album." And I really like the album. I really like the album. But I'm not like absurdly head over heels for this album. I think it is an excellent album. You know what? Let's just talk about the songs first. So, the start of the album, fantastic opener. Fantastic opener to this album in particular. It really sets the tone for a lot of the songs on the rest of the album, like which are kind of like a James Bond theme kind of thing, but more modern. You know, with the horns and the full whatever. And I mean, it is kind of a long song. It's kind of a long album, but I'm still like invested in this particular song. Introvert, which is the name of it. Then we get to Woman, which is much more of a like has much more of a standard R&B instrumental, which I really like. I really like the song. I like a lot of the songs on this album. After Woman, we get Two Worlds Apart, which is one of my favorites on the album. Has a great sample of, I think, a Smokey Robinson song. I'm pretty sure it's a Smokey Robinson song. Let me check. Yeah. It's Smokey Robinson, which is excellent. Uh, we get after that we got "I Love You, I Hate You," which is also one of my favorite songs on the album. One of my favorite songs of the year. Really love this song. Then after that we get the first of many interludes on the album with Little Q Part 1. I'm not the biggest fan of interludes, but at least the interludes on this album sound kind of like interesting. Although some of them on for a little too long. Like some of them are like longer than a few songs on the album. And then after that interlude, we get Little Q Part 2, which is there. It's a song that exists, and it's there. And then after that song, we get Gems, another interlude. Definitely my favorite interlude my on the album. My definitely the interlude that I remember the most, but that's not saying a whole lot because I don't really like pay attention to interludes all that much. After that, we get Speed. Speed is my least favorite song on the album. It's really, really, I'm just not very interested in that song. Same thing with Standing Ovation. I'm a little more interested in Standing Ovation though because the orchestration is a little more pronounced. Speed is too like low key for its own good. I feel like Speed would definitely fit better on Gray Area, but on an album like this, an album as grand as this, and as uh I don't know, an album as grand as this, Speed doesn't really fit. After Standing Ovation, we got I See You. I See You is also a really cool song. A lot of great strings on that song. Then we got another interlude, The Rapper That Came to Tea. I don't like interludes anymore, okay? At this point in the album, I'm just annoyed by the interludes. But then, like, halfway through the interlude, I'm like, oh, okay. Interludes aren't really that bad anymore. And then we get Rollin Stone, which lyrically people seem to think is a really strong song. I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics on this album. I don't really pay attention to lyrics a lot of the time because I can't really hear what they're saying. I don't know. Maybe it's just a problem like with me. Maybe I'm just like really hard of hearing. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just have a hearing problem. that that's why I don't really understand the lyrics half the time. And then protect my energy is going under the radar. A lot of people are not talking about protect my energy enough, but the synths on that song fucking slap. They slap. And then after that, we get yet another interlude. Never make promises, but this one's like a minute long, so it's not that overwhelming. Then back to back, we get two of like my two favorite songs on the album, Point and Kill and Fear No Man. Both of those songs definitely steep into more Afrobeat influences, which is super cool. It doesn't really fit a lot on this album, but at the same time, it kind of does. And I just love the vibes of those two songs. I just love the vibe of Afrobeat so much. It's such a cool like kind of aesthetic, if that's a good thing to say. And then after those two songs, guess what? Guess what? Guess what happens? What do you think happens? Another interlude. Another interlude. Like, please, interludes. I'm I'm not saying that the interludes are bad. The interludes on this album are good, but like I don't like the concept of interludes. I don't like the concept of having one, two, three, four, five interludes on a 19 song album, and like it's over an hour long. So how short would this album be if there weren't any interludes, or how much shorter would this album be if there weren't any interludes? And then we got How Did You Get Here, which is kind of a long song. I kind of like stopped paying attention to this song after like 3 minutes, but the first time that was the second time I listened to this song, the album. The first time I listened to this album, I fucking loved this song. You know, I didn't care that this song was 5 minutes long. I fucking loved it. Then we get Misunderstood, which I'm as a closer to the album, I'm not like it. It doesn't really work as a closer to an album like this. It's kind of like it kind of feels like just another song on the album rather than an epic closer to this super like orchestra heavy album. it just feels like just another song on the album. And yeah, that's all the songs. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about like Lil Simz lyricism on this album. I don't really pay attention to lyricism all that much. Like, cause like I said, I guess I have hearing problems because I can't understand what they're fucking saying. I guess I have like English speaking problems. But yeah, I think like objectively speaking, this album is like really fucking good. Like I really enjoy a lot of the songs. Like, I pretty much enjoy like every song on the album except for the interludes and except for Speed because that song's kind of boring. But yeah, I just really, 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 really like this album, and I would think it's really, 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 really good. But I just don't like how fucking insane people act like talk about this album are. You know, they just act like fucking Simbi invented music. Like people just act like she's reinventing the wheel, and I'm like, relax, okay, relax. Yeah, it's good, okay, relax. Yeah, like please just calm down. Like your blood pressure's going up really high. Your heart's about to stop because you're just freaking out about how good this album is, and it is very good. I'll give it a light 9. Yeah, I'll give it a light 9. I really, really enjoy this album. That's this that's the face I'm gonna draw if I give it a 9. If I give an album a 9, I just I just sounded so negative. I'm sorry if I sounded so negative. I'm not very good at displaying my thoughts, but yeah, I just love this album though. Like in all honesty, I love this album. I'm just not like one of those people that's like, "Oh my god, this album is a 10. This album is the album of the year." You know, I'm not like one of those people. But yeah, that's the new Little Sims album. Sometimes it might be Introvert. Light 9. Really recommend one of my favorite albums of this year. And if you want to listen to it for yourself, please do. It's really good. And if you agree, then tell me about it in the comments. If you don't agree, tell me about it in the comments. If you haven't heard it, listen to it and then tell me about it in the comments. And again, I will see you the next time I review an album, which I don't know when it'll be, but it will be soon. Goodbye.